Hey guys, welcome to another short budget review. Today I will be reviewing Call of Duty Ghosts for the Xbox One. Call of Duty Ghosts was released in 2013. I was a bit wary about buying this one because, for starters, I had heard a lot of negative things from people, and to be honest, it's just another Call of Duty where, it's usually more of the same with little improvements and changes, which is one of the reasons why I stopped buying them in the first place. Now, let's talk about the story mode. Call of Duty isn't known to be popular for its story. People mainly buy them for the multiplayer, but if you're like me and you like to get your money's worth by exploring everything a game has to offer, then without spoiling any of the story for you, I'll give you a rundown on what to expect from the campaign. When I started playing the campaign, right from the start, it felt like a regular Call of Duty, It's just like what you would expect from it. So right off the bat, I was rolling my eyes at the first parts. As with all previous games, you will be shooting through waves of enemies, dodging grenades to get where you need to be. In the first bits, the story progressed mostly as I predicted. About a quarter of the way in, we get some detailed backstory of some of the characters. This is what got my attention at first, so I decided I would keep playing it. As it progressed, it got more interesting and interesting. It got to the point where I wanted to know how this story was going to end, so I forced myself through the tedious shoot your way through waves of enemies parts, but luckily you're put through a few diverse situations where you have to either be stealthy or you get to use the dog, which was one of the highlights of the game, or I guess it was supposed to be one of the selling points, but there isn't much of that anyway. So but for the most part, you'll end up having to do the rinse and repeat routine of, shooting your way through enemies, which is Call of Duty. That's what makes Call of Duty. Three-fourths into the story, and I thought, well, it's definitely not a bad game. So it's borderline good. It has its moments, and by the end of the story, I was saying, for a Call of Duty title, story mode, it's rather good. Not bad at all. Gameplay wise, there was a lot of parts where you just wanted to get it over with and move on to doing something different. That being said, it does have a few but some memorable moments, mainly towards the end. The last couple of missions are easily the highlights of the game. Although it doesn't have jaw-dropping graphics, the graphics do look good on the Xbox One, and there are a few moments where you will be saying, "Hey, this looks nice." Unfortunately, there is no co-op for the campaign mode, which to me seems like a missed opportunity because two-player co-op would have fit in perfectly with the story. The campaign mode in total will probably last you, including the cutscenes, it'll last you around 4.5 to 5 hours max. Now on to the multiplayer. For multiplayer, you have two options. You can either play it offline with bots by yourself or team up split screen with a buddy. Or if you want to do it online, you also have the option for couch co-op. And truthfully, that's one of the major reasons why I wanted to buy a COD game to begin with. Because unfortunately, not many next gen games support split screen. One of the online modes is called Extinction, where you team up with three other players online and fight waves of aliens off. If you've played Zombies mode, it's basically somewhat like that, but it definitely leans towards more towards a horde mode feel. While I would have preferred a zombies mode, I'm glad they at least attempted to add something different. And Extinction does have a couple of modes. One of them is like I said, it was similar to zombies because you're basically locked in a little area of a map, except you can't move from that area. You can't, like, on zombies you would be able to buy like areas of a map basically. There's none of that in this one. You just basically stay there and survive as long as you can. One of the most popular modes, which is one where you and three other teammates get a drill. One of you has to carry the drill and basically start destroying. It's a part of an alien, and little aliens, and once you progress more into that, harder aliens come after you and try to stop you. I guess the ultimate goal of that is to destroy all the alien spawning pods, or I don't know what they are, but there's something like that. And yeah, that's the ultimate goal, is just destroy those things. Personally, I got bored of it after 2 matches because it doesn't have the survival feel you usually get when you play zombies mode. You take quite a bit of hits to go down, and I don't know, it just didn't. I wasn't feeling it too much, but I'm still glad they added it. For multiplayer, Ghosts offers clan support, which is awesome, and even a mode where you and 3 other clan buddies can basically take on other clans. Although you don't have to necessarily be in a clan to play this mode. While it does have a healthy number of multiplayer modes, the majority of people flock to a handful of them. But either way, for the most part, people are playing almost all the modes, and you won't have a tough time finding whatever you really want to play. This time around, they really changed the multiplayer, and honestly, that's actually what got me to buy it in the first place because I rented it. The first thing I went after was the multiplayer. I said if I like the multiplayer at least a little bit, and this is it supports split screen, then I'll definitely check it out and buy it. So that's exactly what I did, and this is what they did with the multiplayer. Firstly, the maps are a lot bigger. It's not claustrophobic as most of the previous ones and other CODs. The kill streak system is very basic especially when compared to the over the top kill streaks you can get with the other ones. These changes are the reason I like Ghost. It felt more like a tactical shooter than what it's felt like lately, which is fast-paced arcade style type shooter, which is what turned me off from Call of Duty to begin with. The hit detection has been improved. It's still not 100% accurate, but a lot better. Weapons are now bought with points you get from playing multiplayer, and you can unlock characters and you can customize them. You can customize their helmet, their face paint, what they're wearing, and their gender as well. And all those things are unlocked by completing objectives. Sometimes it might be like stopping an enemy kill streak a certain amount of times, or getting a certain number of kills with a specific weapon. Right now, you can get Ghost for about $20 retail price, brand new, but I highly recommend not spending more than $16 for it. I actually got my copy for $11 new because I won it at an eBay auction. I would say if you're going to get this game, try one of the online retailers instead, because I'm positive you can get it for a lot less, whether it's new or used, than you would by going to Best Buy or some other retailer. While the campaign is good, the multiplayer is better in my opinion than the previous ones. And Extinction, it's okay. It's still a nice option to have. Ghost in a nutshell is an overall decent game, which is why I decided to give it 3 out of 5, a decent buy. I hope you guys found this review useful. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment if you have any questions about the game, and I'll do my best to answer them. This has been another short budget review. Stay tuned by subscribing. More reviews on the way.